Hey, what's going on, everybody? ScottDogGaming here. Thank you very much for joining us. As you can see, we're back. We're about to start episode 2, or chapter 2, of the Council. So, last time out, if you haven't seen the videos, they're all in a playlist. Please go and check them out before watching these ones, because it's the second release in the series. Sort of small episodic games of I guess, interrogation. It's kind of a walk and talk RPG, if that makes sense. But last time out, we turned up at a mansion looking for our mother who'd gone missing, and met some of the guests. There was some few famous faces there: Napoleon, George Washington, a few other people, and then we met Emily, who is a troubled soul. And the last thing I remember is we got accused of murder. That's pretty much it. There's obviously other bits to it, but I'd love you guys to go and check out the other videos, and we will get started. I think this is the one.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet. Monsieur de Richet, I am arresting you for the murder of Elizabeth Adams.
Well. So on this screen, if you can't remember, we get to choose a book to read. And essentially these books will give you various skills. Now, I can't remember what skills we had. This is like the unlocking of skills. Where's our character tree? So over here, we've got level 2 in diversion, level 2 in conviction. And that's about it, I think, from memory. We've then got some sort of low-level skills that we're trying to expand. So it'd be nice to get some of these up. So what's this one? This is etiquette. So we could go for the etiquette book. We could go for the science book. Let's have a little look at what the books are again. We've got +1 in science, linguistics, and erudation. What is that? What is that? Should I know what that is? Benefit from a sound cultural background. Oh, no wonder I don't know what it is. Of arts, history, and geography. Yeah, no wonder I don't know what that is. Okay. That about sums it up, really. What have we got? Parallel lives. 1 point in conviction. Okay. Psychology. Skill point in logic and etiquette. So I'm thinking this one feels like a good way to go. It's getting 3 points for the sake of it. So let's do that. Can I equip it? I can equip another one? What? I can't read these, but when I collect all these pages, it looks like we can do some proper reading. So does this give me etiquette? No. So maybe if we go for the etiquette one over here as well. Have we got any points to spend? I don't know if we have. Doesn't look like it. And these show us what we should be finishing. So if we get some points in these things, we'll get more experience at the end of the quests, and so on and so forth. So it looks like there's sort of various bits and pieces, but just by doing things, we'll unlock some points as well. So I think we're ready to go. So I'm going to hold X, and here we go, everybody. Here we go. I have to say, I really enjoyed the first part as well.
At last we meet, Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. But an act of horrific violence occurred during the night. and I do not know if this is linked to the disappearance of Sarah.
What are you getting at? What act of violence?
We found Elizabeth Adams' body in her room. She was brutally murdered, stabbed several times. I'll get straight to the point, Louis. According to the initial elements at my disposal, you were the last person to see her alive.
Yes, last night we, Do you suspect me?
I want you to tell me everything that happened last night and leave nothing out. Tell me, how did the evening begin?
I know it was only last night, but it seems like an age away.
I was going up to my room when I saw Elizabeth waiting for me.
Oh,
She
God.
was very upset, and her words didn't make sense. I thought it best to follow her to her room, as she had asked me to.
Continue.
She insisted we have a drink, without which she refused to confide in anything.
What exactly did she want to speak about?
About my mother. She had just found out that I was Sarah de Richet's son. Elizabeth wanted to tell me about the horrors my mother apparently inflicted on her.
Finding out that your own parents had always lied to you. Well, that must not have been an easy thing to hear. But do go on.
Oh,
I
God.
refused to go on drinking with her. She already seemed drunk and her conversation became confused. So, then she ordered me to get out. If only I'd stayed.
Don't blame yourself, Louis. How could you have known? But thank you for this new information.
Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference. But the case cannot remain unaddressed. I must reassure my guests, and justice will be done. And for that to happen, I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe. She trusted you. Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this. And I trust you. You have my backing. You must stop at nothing. Can I count on you?
I don't trust him.
Of course. How would you like me to proceed?
Maybe you could start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
Can you tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
Do you have any suspects in mind, my lord?
I spent most of the night talking with Sir Gregory and His Eminence Piaggi, so I think you can remove them from the list of suspects. Monsieur Bonaparte and President Washington left the party after midnight, I believe. They were tired and went up to bed.
Right.
Wow.
I'll there immediately.
Thank you, Louis. Now, once you've finished, come back and let me know your findings. I'll be waiting. And Louis, you've got permission to search through the guests' rooms. They've all been notified and they agree.
Okay, now I can't remember what the little icon in the top left means. I think it means I'm tired or something along those lines. And I've got like special things in my inventory that I could use, but I can't remember what they are. Devil's Horn, temporary reveals immunity and vulnerability. Could have used that. Restore 2 effort points. Well, I think these are our effort points, as you can see. Next skill use is 3. Cures negative alterations. I think it's probably that one, but I don't know what thing it's associated to on the D-pad. So let's just have a little look around here. I can't fully remember exactly what we found out last time. I probably should have watched the video, but never mind. Oh, there's the Eminence. Now, he said that we could... Devil's Thorn. Okay, so I think that was to the right. Okay.
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing.
Not to worry, Your Eminence. If he is innocent, then he has nothing to fear. Do you know why Monsieur Bonaparte was hanging around her room like that?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the dashing young soldier had become infatuated with a fragile young woman who looked a bit lost. But I don't think he got a very warm welcome.
Bonaparte and Adams? But they didn't even know each other, did they?
I couldn't say, Louis. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Peru. You remember how violently he set upon Miss Adams.
Oh,
I do
don't
remember.
worry. He's on the list of suspects.
I do remember. I don't trust the Eminence either. I get the feeling by the end of this, everybody's going to be a suspect. I have trust issues, alright? Oh, what have we got here? Can't read that letter.
Dante's Purgatory. Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its final form? Charming.
Okay, let's just figure out which one of these, because I think I need to use some of these. Let's just figure out which one of these. The golden... Okay, I think it's down, but I'm not sure. And what do we... Restores 2 jelly. So, can we have a little look? What's... I didn't look at the... Okay, so that one's that, and then we'll use this one to get 2 skill points back, and then we need to start using that next skill point is 3 thing. Is this some kind of sky hole? If I find the guilty person, are we going to throw them down that hole? Is that the way this works? Just going to have a little look around your room, if you don't mind.
The Nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781.
I got a book, everybody. Oh. And a coin. I like the fact that he doesn't mind me just running around his... There was something on his desk flashing, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pick it up. I obviously... Oh no, I can. Nice. Has he got anything else to say?
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I have none.
I'm listening, Louis.
I'll be in touch as soon
I
as
should have just
have
guessed.
any more
I
information.
should have just guessed at someone. I'm normally quite good at spotting these things. I should have just gone with my gut. I don't know who that is at the moment. I think it might be Mortimer. I think Mortimer did it. Okay, but let's head off to do some investigation. Here we go. I have no idea where I am. And whose room is who. Let's keep going this way, see if we can find Adam's room first. Because it makes sense to do some investigation in there before we start looking around everybody else's room. Although I don't trust Washington.
Good day, Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Volner, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
Has anyone told you that Elizabeth was killed last night?
Yes. Rumors spread quickly.
Huh. He looks very put out.
It's horrible. How did it happen?
I can say nothing to you, sir. You'd better follow your host's instructions and stay in your quarters.
I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
Dodgy. Okay. Good lord. Okay, so it looks like there was a struggle at least. We know this much. Oh, hello. Jesus.
Has Sir finished with this room?
No, I haven't gone over everything yet.
Sir may take his time. When Sir would like to leave, Sir has only to tell me.
Why?
My dear Elizabeth, I'm writing to inform you of some unfortunate news. We won't be able to meet as planned on the first Sunday of May.
I think we read these already. I believe. She's dead. Like, properly dead.
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, and maybe mutilations. She bled from the nose.
It's going to cost me a point. We'll come back to that, I think.
What a strange smell. Laudanum. Certain courtiers use it to get drunk. If taken in large quantities, it can provoke fits of madness.
Okay.
I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax, with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death. Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood. If the scars are anything to go by. It's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body.
We'll be back.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars. Scarring, ugh. Scarring isn't very regular, but they're mostly from old cuts. You
people who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control. Scars are superficial and were made several years ago. She wasn't trying to take her own life. She had the Sigillum de Ameth tattooed on her, the symbol of the living God, written in the language of angels, according to believers. It is rare for someone to know about symbols like this at her age, unless her mother was a tutor.
Uh-huh. Her mother, yep.
Ancient Greek. Let's see what it means. These are sacred chants intended to protect their bearer. But from whom? Or from what?
Okay, I mean, we're learning a lot about her, but nothing about the actual...
Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs. More tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body.
Okay, so we're going to spend some points here for whatever we do. So is it this one? Next skill use is 3? Is that what we need? So if we go to examine the body...
I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death. The wounds are clean and look like they've been inflicted by a sharp object. Some of the lacerations have damaged vital organs, the heart, the right lung, which is perforated. Most of them weren't given with much force. She might even have survived. But the stab in the heart, though not all that deep, sealed her fate.
So does that mean that the wounds were made after she died, or...? It's going to cost 2 points to observe the wounds. Let's use another one of these.
It looks as though the wounds were inflicted from a precise angle, as if the murderer was standing behind Elizabeth.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, what about the head again?
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations.
Okay, so let's examine her nose again.
Nose. There's signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising. There's signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising.
Oh, whoops. Okay, so we can only do the one.
What a strange smell.
And we've done this one, so... Is there anything else about the arms? We'll just check out these things again.
Like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars.
So the last one, I think, is just the sexual assault one. And I think that's probably worthwhile doing.
Let's see. No trace of sexual assault or rape.
I can't do that one. Okay. I think we're done here. I'm not sure what I learned other than either someone snuck up behind her or someone was up close behind her.
The clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime.
Well, that means everybody was back in their room, I think.
Huh. The talisman that I gave back to Elizabeth. I can't exactly say it brought her good luck. The blade is short and thin. Well sharpened, apparently. It's covered in blood. Still fresh. The lower part of the handle is unsullied by blood. The murderer gripped the weapon so tight that there's no blood where he held it. The handprint indicates a small and slender hand.
I wonder who has a small and slender hand.
A knocked over bottle of wine.
I get the feeling that's got that stuff in.
Poor girl bled to death. Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
So has massive feet and tiny hands.
Vials of laudanum. The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved.
I get the feeling this might be useful to investigate.
Large quantities could knock out a bull. Could Elizabeth have been drugged? If the body wounds are anything to go by, then clearly not. She put up a fierce fight.
So she put up a fight, but there was clearly drugs in the room.
Blood spatter indicates that the murderer must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower someone like that.
Okay, let's check out the rest of the room here. Get some points back. I think we've looked at all of these things.
Written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out. It looks like a mixture of medieval Latin and Anglo-Norman. It is difficult to make sense of this jerky writing. I can make out some passages, though. He's coming. The demon is upon me. He's coming back to kill me. There she is. Death has come to finish me off. I've just run into her son. That was her last entry. What tortured writing.
Is she indicating that my mother did it? And am I indicating that my mother's got really big feet?
August 24th. 1792.
I think we've
June 11th,
read these.
1791.
Yeah, we have. That's the pistol that my mother would have had.
A pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light. A tribute engraved on the barrel. To the liberators of France. There's a few dried traces of blood on the grip. Difficult to know for sure how they got there. It's extremely well maintained. The barrel is perfectly clean. It isn't loaded, and well, there's no traces of gunshot residue. I'd conclude that it hasn't been used recently. Right. I shall have to find its owner.
Yeah, we found an empty gun case in the
Piece of fabric. High quality at
on
that.
the docks.
I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear. It's a travel dress. The silk has been lightly waxed to protect it from bad weather. And I know the very woman who came up with the idea, given all the traveling she does. My mother. God help us. Why did she come here in the first place? The material appears to have undergone abnormal wear and tear. She must have been scouring the countryside, and that doesn't look good.
So, we're saying my mother's got really big feet, or that she was here and someone else was here. And this would indicate that they went out this door, but I can't go out there. Okay. Am I missing anything else?
A pentagram. What the hell's been going on here? Contrary to what most people believe, a pentagram's not there to conjure up, I don't know what evil or demonic creature. With the point toward the top, the pentagram is an ancient symbol of protection against evil. Many esoteric rituals are based on this shape. Could Elizabeth have been sacrificed during an occult ritual?
I mean, I guess she could have been. So we know this is the coin. We can't do anything with that. We know the clock stopped. Is there anything else? I don't think so. I think we're done here.
Has Sam finished with this room?
Do you know who could have made such a mess of this room?
Miss Adams, sir. We were given orders to leave the room as it was, so as not to rush her.
Did she have a fight with someone to get the room into this state?
Not that I know of, sir. Miss Adams would sometimes throw a tantrum, during which she would destroy anything that came to hand. Lord Mortimer told us not to enter the room.
Thanks for that information.
You are welcome, sir. Has Sir finished with this room?
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Thank you. Don't trust you either, mate. Wow. After our initial investigation, I think we'll call it the end of the episode there. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe button, follow us on Twitter at ScottDogGaming, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.